In the darkest hours of the night, when the storms roll in from the Atlantic Ocean and batter the shores of the Caribbean, the elders of Haiti tell a story. It is not a story for children. It is a story of blood, of fire, and of a promise made 200 years ago. They speak of a man who was not a man, but a force of nature. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, the tiger, the liberator, the first emperor. He was the man who looked at the armies of Napoleon Bonaparte, the greatest military machine the world had ever seen, and said, "We will write our independence using their skulls as inkwells and their blood as ink." He defeated the French. He broke the chains. He created the first Black Republic in the history of the modern world. But before he could build the paradise he dreamed of, he was betrayed. He was assassinated by his own brothers, as manipulated by the colonial powers. As he lay dying on the red earth of Pont Rouge, his spirit did not ascend to heaven. It entered the wind. It swore an oath to return. It swore that one day it would cross the ocean back to the motherland, to finish the war that began in 1804. For 2 centuries, that spirit wandered. It watched as Africa was carved up. It watched as the children of the land were humiliated. It waited for a vessel strong enough to hold its fire. It waited for a soldier who possessed the same rage, the same courage, and the same absolute refusal to compromise with the slave master. That wait is over. The ghost of 1804 has found a home. If you look into the eyes of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, you are not seeing a 34-year-old soldier from Burkina Faso. You are seeing the ancient reincarnated soul of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. The vibration is identical. The rhetoric is identical. The enemies are identical. And this time, the ending will be different. Today, we dare to explore the forbidden spiritual connection between the revolution of Haiti and the revolution of the Sahel. We peel back the layers of history to reveal the transatlantic migration of a warrior soul. This is the story of how the first Black Republic in the West is spiritually birthing the first sovereign empire in the East. To understand Traoré, you must understand the curse of 1804. When Haiti declared independence, the West did not forgive them. France, America, and Britain imposed a quarantine on the Black nation. They forced Haiti to pay an independence debt, billions of dollars in gold, just for the right to be free. They strangled the baby in the crib. They ensured that Haiti would remain poor, unstable, and chaotic, as a warning to any other Black nation that dared to rise. This was the colonial tax. Does this sound familiar? Look at the Sahel today. What is the CFA franc? It is the colonial tax. What are the mining contracts that take 90% of the gold to Paris? It is the independence debt. The mechanism of oppression has not changed in 200 years. It has only changed its name. The French still demand tribute. They still demand that the African leader ask for permission to feed his own people. But Dessalines had a motto: coupe tête, boule quai. Cut the heads, burn the houses. It meant total war. It meant that we would rather burn the country to ashes than hand it back to the masters. Listen to Ibrahim Traoré today. When he says, "A slave who does not rebel does not deserve pity," he is channeling the exact frequency of Dessalines. He is channeling the Ogou energy, the voodoo spirit of iron and war. In the spiritual tradition of the Caribbean, Ogou Feray is the warrior who fights for justice. He wears red. He carries a machete or a gun. He is fierce, protective, and intolerant of betrayal. Traore is the living manifestation of Ogou. The red beret he wears is the color of Ogou. The way he stands, defiant against the threats of the UN and ECOWAS, is the stance of the Loi, spirit. The parallels are terrifyingly precise. Dessalines was betrayed by the mulatto elites, the affranchis, who wanted to keep their economic privileges and stay close to France. Traoré is fighting the exact same enemy, the westernized African elites, yet the presidents in neighboring countries who wear expensive suits and speak perfect French, but whose hearts are cold to the suffering of their people. These are the house Negroes that Malcolm X warned us about. They are the Judas class. In 1806, they killed Dessalines at Pont Rouge. In 1987, they killed Thomas Sankara in Ouagadougou. But here is the spiritual law that the West forgot. You can kill the revolutionary, but you cannot kill the revolution. The blood of Sankara watered the soil. The spirit of Dessalines crossed the water. And now they have merged in the body of Traoré. He is the hybrid warrior. He has the intellectual clarity of Sankara and the ruthless pragmatism of Dessalines. He knows that you cannot negotiate with a tiger when your head is in its mouth. You must break the tiger's teeth. But when Traoré expelled the French ambassador, when he kicked out the French military, he was performing a spiritual exorcism. He was breaking the curse of Pont Rouge. He was telling the ghost of Napoleon, "You took Haiti, you took our past, but you will not take our future." The connection extends even to the geography of the spirit. Haiti is the mountainous land in the west. Burkina Faso is the land of upright men in the east. They are spiritual mirrors. What failed in Haiti, because of isolation and betrayal, is destined to succeed in Burkina Faso because of unity and awakening. The Alliance of Sahel States, AES, is the dream of Dessalines come true. Dessalines wanted to liberate not just Haiti, but the entire Caribbean. He sent weapons to Venezuela. He sent soldiers to Colombia. He was a Pan-Africanist before the word existed. Traoré is doing the same. He is not just saving Burkina Faso. He is deploying his troops to save Niger, to save Mali. He understands that freedom is not a local commodity. It is a continental necessity. There is a mystical concept known as ancestral assignment. It is believed that when an ancestor dies with unfinished business, they hover in the ether, looking for a descendant who is worthy to pick up the sword. For generations, the spirit of 1804 hovered. It looked at the dictators of Africa and turned away in disgust. It looked at the puppet presidents and wept. But when it looked at the young captain in the dust of the Sahel, it smiled. It descended. This explains the supernatural charisma of Ibrahim Traoré. Have you noticed how the people look at him? It is not normal political support. It is reverence. But when he passes through the streets, the old women cry, and the young men beat their chests. Why? Because their souls recognize the energy. They are not looking at a politician. They are looking at the Papa, the protector who has returned from the long journey. In Haiti, they call Dessalines Papa Dessalines. In Burkina, they are beginning to see Traoré as the father of the new nation. The West is terrified of this. They study history. They know what happened in Haiti. They know that a slave revolt, once it catches fire, is impossible to extinguish. They are terrified that Traoré will inspire the blacks of the diaspora, in America, in Brazil, in the Caribbean, to realize their own power. They are afraid of the global intifada of the black race. That is why they demonize him, and that is why they call him a putschist. They are trying to bury the spirit before it spreads, but you cannot bury a ghost. Let us look at the ceremony of Bois Caïman. In 1791, before the Haitian Revolution began, the slaves gathered in a forest during a storm. They sacrificed a pig and swore a blood oath to live free or die. The sky opened up and the lightning struck. It was a pact with the elements. Look at the weather in the Sahel since Traoré took power. The rains have been heavy. The floods have been biblical. The land is turning green. The ecosystem itself is responding to the change in leadership. The elements are realigning. The pact has been renewed. Traoré has made his own Bois Caïman pact with the people of the Sahel. Fatherland or death is the modern translation of the oath taken in that forest. Oh, there is a warning here for the enemies of the Sahel. When you fought Dessalines, you lost. You lost your best generals. You lost your richest colony. You lost your reputation. If you fight Traoré, you will lose again. The energy he wields is not his own. It is the accumulated rage of 400 years of slavery, colonization, and humiliation. It is a nuclear reactor of spiritual power. If you touch it, you will burn. To my brothers and sisters in Haiti, in Jamaica, in the Americas, do not let the ocean divide you from your truth. You have been taught that you are separate from Africa. You have been taught that you are different. But the spirit of 1804 knows no borders. The man in the red beret is your brother. He is fighting your war. The gold he is reclaiming is your inheritance. The dignity he is restoring is your crown. Traoré is the bridge. He is the bridge over the Atlantic. He is the proof that the Middle Passage was not the end of the story. The journey did not end in the cotton fields of Alabama or the sugarcane fields of Saint-Domingue. The journey ends here, back at the source, with the complete liberation of the motherland. We are witnessing the closing of the circle. The prophecy of the Black Jacobins is being fulfilled. Toussaint Louverture said, "In overthrowing me, you have cut down in San Domingo only the trunk of the tree of liberty. It will spring up again by the roots, for they are numerous and deep." Burkina Faso is the root, Traoré is the branch, and the tree is blooming with fire. The independence debt is cancelled. We owe the West nothing. They owe us everything. They owe us for the stolen labor, the stolen resources, us the stolen years. Traoré is the debt collector sent by God. He has come to collect the check. As the sun sets over the Caribbean and rises over the Sahel, the connection is complete. The ghost of Dessalines can finally rest, because his sword is in good hands. The emperor has returned, not in robes of velvet, but in fatigues of camouflage. If you feel the spirit of the ancestors rising in your blood, do not ignore it. This is the time of the Great Awakening. Stand with the captain. Stand with the spirit of 1804. The revolution has just begun.